President Trump is warning the U.S. will strike back harder than ever if it is attacked. Iran has vowed revenge for a U.S. drone strike that killed its top military commander on Friday. Mourners have filled the streets of the southwestern Iranian city of Avaz, where the remains of Commander Qasem Soleimani have been returned from Iraq. Meanwhile, more U.S. troops headed to the region. Soldiers and equipment left North Carolina for Kuwait, adding to the hundreds who left there earlier this week. Iraq, too, Shiite Muslims have marched in funeral processions to show their grief. The Prime Minister has declared 3 days of national mourning.
Mourning and anger are in the air as the funeral procession for Iran's top general Qasem Soleimani and Iraqi commander Abu Mahdi al-Muhandis arrives at the holy shrine in Najaf. Thousands have come to pay their respects here in Iraq. On the streets of Tehran, too. Here, Iranians demanded vengeance after a U.S. strike in Baghdad on Friday killed Soleimani.
We will avenge our general's death. He was not just an individual, but a whole country. They did not just kill one person, they killed the country.
All Iranians loved him. He was the general of our hearts. I haven't been feeling well since yesterday. It's like I've lost my own father. The pain I feel won't be gone until we take revenge.
Soleimani was the mastermind behind Iran's military engagement in the Middle East for the last 2 decades and a close ally of Iran's supreme leader. And the revenge for his death seems already to have started. On Saturday, a rocket fell inside Baghdad's heavily fortified green zone near the U.S. embassy, another on an airbase housing U.S. troops. It comes after Iranian President Hassan Rouhani vowed during a meeting with Soleimani's daughter that his country will retaliate.
Mr. Rouhani, when the blood of my father's friends was shed, he would take revenge for them. Now who is going to take revenge for my father's blood?
They will. Everyone will get revenge for the martyr's blood. Don't you worry about that.
Meanwhile, U.S. President Trump warned that the U.S. is ready to respond should Iran strike any Americans or American assets. Trump has repeatedly claimed that Soleimani's killing was necessary to protect American lives. Tehran has appointed General Esmail Ghani to replace Soleimani. He'll now be responsible for Iran's foreign military operations.
Journalist Amir Masawi joins me here in the studio. Amir, so glad you could be with us. I want our viewers to take a look at some live pictures that we're getting in right now from Iran before we start our conversation. This is thousands of mourners now. They're following this funeral procession for the slain officers. That huge turnout, one can imagine, is meant clearly as a sign of unity. How unified is the country behind the regime right now?
I think the time that some people criticizing the regime in Iran is, in these days at least, it's not loud enough. I think the unity of the Iranian nation become more and more through that assassination of Mr. Qasem Soleimani. We just saw that footage over yesterday in Iraq, by the way, also that some Iraqis have also some criticizing against Soleimani, but what we saw yesterday for the footage in Najaf and in Karbala, that Iraqis burying the bodies of Mr. Soleimani and Abu Mahdi al-Muhandis, it is also a kind of unifying. Just not forget that the footage that we got today from Iran, coming from the city which the majority of them is Arabs, it is the west of Iran and Ahwaz. And this is also a kind of a message towards the United States that Iranian people are unified over that action of the United States.
There's a lot of messaging going on. I mean, the U.S. President Donald Trump has warned that he has 52 targets in Iran in mind if he is provoked. Are Iranians taking him seriously?
I think this is a counterproduction that he brought the old things happen in the past.
It's counterproductive, you're saying?
Not productive.
Yeah.
It is not productive because with that, he bring Iranian more and more unified themselves. remembering that time that when the Americans tried to save that 52 hostages in 1979, and the operation failed. And I think Iranian remembering that that action from the United States, that it was not successful enough, and they think that this threat will not be powerful enough. I think if I would give an advice for Mr. Trump, I think the message that he can send for the diplomatic talking to find a solution for that, this is maybe better than bringing 52 number in this message.
Journalist Amir Moussaoui, thanks so much for your time.
You're
Appreciate
welcome.
that.